Alright, so hi there. How's it going? You're like, wait, this isn't what I'm used to seeing. So as you've probably noticed, I've been painting a bunch of paintings and putting them in all my videos. And what I've come to realize is that I really don't give enough cares to talk about politics all the time. I don't really want to be Tim Pool. I like Tim Pool, but I don't want to be Tim Pool. I like painting, and I would rather share that with you, and maybe you'll get some of my opinions that way. So, what I'm going to do from now on is you're going to get a couple of videos I'm going to try to shoot for at least Monday, Wednesday, Friday, as usual, of me painting. So, it's going to be me as a painter who I myself have painted off and on for the last 20 years, but I really haven't done anything probably in the last 15 when it comes to painting anything. So you're going to kind of just see me as a painter, and this is me as a, I don't know, beginner, intermediate, we'll call it that. And if you're a beginner, you're going to get a lot of stuff from me where I'm going to tell you, pick up a paintbrush and go do it, or a colored pencil or whatever, and just do it. Because art is in the eye of the beholder, and if it makes you happy, who cares what anyone else thinks? So, this is a 12 by 12 canvas. It's got black gesso on it. This is kind of a newer thing. I've never really done much with black gesso because I've seen people do it, and I thought it'd be fun. Not sure what I think yet, so I'm more into the abstract today. Some days you might see me do paintings like a Bob Ross or something, and we'll just see where it goes. So, that's what I'm going to be doing from now on, because I really just feel like the whole politics thing is, it's a bloated mess anyways, and I think I can do better at this. So, let's start. So, I kind of just put some paints here on my palette, and I kind of sometimes just let's get some color here and see what we can kind of do. Oh, I like that. That's some cobalt blue and titanium white. And this is a 2-inch brush. Just kind of poking around. Like if you were going to create a cloud, this could be a way. And I kind of like the way that blue and white kind of pop off of there. So let's take some of this. I've always been a big fan of paint knives because, it started with that guy Bob Ross, as you see. I do have here we go, piece of Bob Ross stuff. I don't really like buying the Bob Ross stuff because of the whole Kowalski thing. Most of you, anybody that knows Bob Ross knows about that story. But what I like, I just like the kind of, I like the sound. I like that scratchy sound. Anyway, so something I had saw floating around on those reels on that internet place called the Instagrams. There were people, this person was talking about artists and how artists are basically the only ones that just say, you know what, I'm going to go do something. I have the will to be creative. Because realistically, every single one of you watching this, whether you're a painter or not, you have the ability to do this. Most of what you get from here is technique. It's techniques that you learn. And, like this brush, it took me forever to find the proper 2-inch brush, that I like. A lot of them just fell apart. You get hairs everywhere. I'm not a big fan of brushes that lose their hairs. But one of the things that I found, just kind of, it's fun, especially with the abstract. Any of you out there can do an abstract painting. It just takes you being willing to just throw some paint on a canvas and just do it. Right? This is going to be a reoccurring theme for me, is just go do something. Are you a creative person? Then go create. Don't sit around thinking that your job at fucking McDonald's is worth it. Someday, if you just keep being creative, somebody might go, hey, I like that. I want to pay you money for that. Maybe you never actually get someone to pay money for it. But you have all these paintings and you can give them to your friends. You know, it makes you feel good. Who cares? You know, that was one of the things I learned from Mr. Bob Ross. You know, with his happy little trees and just paint your own little world. Just kind of do what you want. Make it to be what you want. If you want to paint trees and branches and buildings and landscapes, you know, go do it. You know, go find tutorials. There's a tutorial on the internet for everything. You want to learn how to become a radio host? There's a tutorial. You want to learn how to set up a microphone to stream and the right kind of camera? There's a tutorial. You want to learn how to paint abstract art? There's a tutorial. You just have to go do it. This is the world we live in. If you were a kid like me who grew up in the 90s and the late 80s, you would have loved to have the internet. I would have loved to have the internet when I was trying to learn how to play guitar when I was 14. Like, to have Marty Schwartz, you know, just to do it, you know. So what I'm trying to say is, just be creative. Go do it. Like this here, this is kind of fun. I'm liking this what's coming out of here. And like me, I don't paint from an idea. I shouldn't say that. Sometimes I do. Like those Bob Ross ones that you've seen that I've done that are got the trees in them. I kind of had an idea and I was kind of following something that maybe Bob was doing on a video, but I just wanted to I'd never tried that style before. And I kind of just like the colors. I want to find... One of the things, I had a friend of mine, I've never personally taken an actual painting class. I've taken art classes before. I've taken ceramics and drawing classes. But I've never taken a painting class. But one thing I do kind of always remember is that they talk about balance. You want balance in your piece, right? You want to be able to stand back and look at it and have it feel like, has that got the right thing? And sometimes, you know, you might sit here for 2 or 3 hours trying to get it right. There's a couple of paintings that I did. There's the one, it came from Kansas, that painting. That one like took me like 5 minutes. And it just kind of came out of, it's like popped off the canvas. You know, you'll sit there and just be looking at it and go, you know, I want to try this. You know, why not? Hobby Lobby is a wonderful place. Oh yeah, look at that. Hobby Lobby is a wonderful place. And if you don't have a Hobby Lobby, you probably have a Walmart. If you don't have a Walmart, you probably have a Target. If you don't have any of those and you're watching this, you have the internet. And internet has Amazon. Amazon, you can get all kinds of stuff. You can buy paint stuff like going out of style. I used to paint on these wooden boards because they were cheaper than canvases. Wood's kind of expensive nowadays. So, what I'm basically telling you is if you want to do something other than that thing that you're doing right now, I mean, if you've made it this far, you're kind of curious, so go get some canvases. Go get some drawing paper. You know, there's going to come a time where all of these paintings that we are creating, whether they're digital or what otherwise, these are going to be like NFTs. This is going to be one of those things where the two worlds start to meet. And if you have access to be able to get your stuff seen by enough people, that's another thing. If you were painting in 1995 to be able to get enough people to see your stuff, you really had to work at it. Now you can go on Instagram and just take pictures, and you can start to gain a following, and you have access to all of the people that have access to Instagram. If you're making YouTube videos, it's all the people that have access to YouTube. If you have access to the internet, you know, there are people that will want to see your stuff. You could be in India. You could be in India right now painting something, and you're like, I want people to see this, and someone's going to see it and go, you know, I want that. You got to get it out there, and the best way to do it is this thing here, this thing called the interwebs. One of the great inventions of the internet, one of the great inventions of humankind. I also will say, one of the worst inventions of humankind. I don't know, how's that look to you guys? Does that look okay? Oh, I kind of like that. And see, this is just me standing here, putting some color on a canvas and talking to you. You know, like, you could maybe put some eyeballs right here. You know, a little face, a little red-headed white girl. You know, but I don't think so. It's too obvious, right? But like, if you step back, you'll start to see things, you know, and you might be seeing something when you're painting it, but then it's up on a wall somewhere in a gallery, and someone else is seeing something completely different, and they're like, man, that really hit the spot. You know, why not? Why not you? Why not you? I mean, imagine Pablo Picasso. Imagine Pablo Picasso with a YouTube channel. Imagine Claude Monet with a YouTube channel. You know, I mean, think about it in that regard. You know, Monet had to have people pay his bills his entire life. You know, he'd be able to convince a whole lot more people. He didn't have to have one or two benefactors. He'd have a Patreon with like thousands of subscribers paying him monthly to just paint stuff for him. You know, why not? I kind of like this. I kind of like that. What do you think? I'm gonna call that good. We'll call that. What do we call that? The red-headed sunset. I'm gonna call that the red-headed sunset. So if you like that, hit the subscribe button. Hit the share, comment. If there's anything in there, if you like that, if you like the colors, if you would like to purchase this painting, make me an offer in the comments. I'm down. Anyways, go out there and be the change you want to see in the world, and have a fantastic day.